Hey guys, welcome back and welcome to the world of inspirational women in history. Now, we are going to learn about another three amazing women that are just fascinating, and we owe a ton of our current freedoms to these women. Okay, are you ready? Let's go. Now, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Miss Bree. I'm an educator, a farmer, an illustrator, a singer, and a proud grammar nerd. Welcome to the farm school. So first up, we're going to talk about Sojourner Truth. Now, Sojourner Truth was born into slavery in New York around the year 1797. Her birth name was Isabella Baumfree. During her early life, she faced many hardships while living in slavery, and in 1826, she bravely escaped and gained her freedom. Later, she felt called to speak and travel and tell people about justice and equality. She chose the name Sojourner Truth because she believed it was her mission to travel and tell people the truth about slavery and the importance of freedom. As Sojourner Truth traveled across the country, she spoke to large audiences about the injustice of slavery. She also spoke about women's rights and the importance of equality. One of her most famous speeches was given in 1851 at a women's rights convention in Ohio. The speech is often called Ain't I a Woman? In it, she challenged people to recognize that women, especially black women, deserve the same respect and rights as anyone else, which is very true. She spent the rest of her life speaking for justice and equality. During the Civil War, she helped support efforts to improve the lives of formerly enslaved people. In 1864, she even met with President Abraham Lincoln at the White House. Today, Sojourner Truth is remembered as one of the most courageous voices in the fight for freedom and equal rights. Her life reminds us that even one determined person can inspire change. Next up, we have Lucy Parsons. Now, Lucy Parsons was born around 1853 in Texas, and historians believe she may have been born into slavery as well. As an adult, she moved to Chicago with her husband, Albert Parsons. In the growing industrial city, Lucy saw how many workers struggled with long hours, dangerous workplaces, and very low pay. These experiences inspired her to become involved in activism. Lucy soon became known as a powerful public speaker who stood up for workers and demanded fair treatment. Lucy became deeply involved in the labor movement, which fought for fair treatment for workers. At the time, many laborers worked long hours in dangerous factories for very little pay. Lucy believed workers deserved better wages and safer workplaces. She traveled and spoke to large crowds about the importance of organizing and standing together for change. Her activism was closely connected to the labor struggles happening in Chicago during the late 1800s. She continued her activism for many, many years, speaking and organizing on behalf of workers across the United States. She believed strongly that people should have the freedom to speak out against injustice and demand better living and working conditions. Her efforts helped inspire future generations of labor activists and reformers. Today, Lucy Parsons is remembered as an influential voice in the American labor movement and a determined advocate for women's rights, or workers' rights, both rights actually. And lastly, we have Rosa Luxemburg. Now, Rosa Luxemburg was born in 1871 in Poland, which at that time was part of the Russian Empire. From a young age, she showed a strong love of learning and became an excellent student. Later, she moved to Switzerland to study economics and politics at the university. Rosa became known as a writer, economist, and political activist. She believed strongly in workers' rights, democracy, and social justice, and she became an influential voice in political debates across Europe. Rosa spent much of her life speaking and writing about workers' rights and economic justice. She studied how societies organized their economies and argued that workers should have more power and protections. Rosa became famous for her powerful speeches and political debates. Because she openly criticized governments and spoke out against war and injustice, she was imprisoned several times. Even while in prison, she continued writing letters and essays about democracy and freedom. Rosa lived during a time of great political change in Europe, especially during World War I and the years that followed. She remained committed to her beliefs about democracy, workers' rights, and social justice. In 1919, during a period of political unrest in Germany, she was arrested and killed. Although her life tragically ended, her writings and ideas continued to influence political discussions around the world. Today, she's remembered as an important voice in debates about freedom, democracy, and economic justice. So, again, look at these women. Think about how totally different they are, right? These three lived in similar time frames, but think about how many different things that they faced in their years and how they just kept going. It's just amazing. So just think about that. What would you do if that happened to you? So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you for the next one. Bye.